Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel Daysi DIY. Today I'm sharing with you guys an easy home decor. I hope you enjoy. If you do, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. Thank you so much. For the first project, I'm going to be using this wood tag that I got from Dollar Tree. So here's the item number if you guys need it. So the first thing, I'm going to remove the image from the top and also the hanger. And this is how it looks once you remove the image. Also, I want to say if you guys don't want to remove the image, you guys can use the back of the wood sign and you guys gonna be fine with it. But I decided to remove the image so it can has a finished look. And to paint it, I'm using the Restylane chalkboard paint on color white. First, I'm gonna do a light coat because I want the wood to show a little bit through. You guys know that I love this technique to distress my signs, so that's the reason why I always do this step to use a little bit of paint. And once I'm done with the first coat, I go over and paint a little bit the spots that it needs more white, and that's the distress look that I always look for. So once I was done, I decided to create lines. I didn't measure anything. I just kind of eyeball it. I just want to use my pencil to trace it a few times, and once I was done, I'm going to be using my fingers to distress the lines. The next thing we're going to be using two painter sticks that I got from Amazon. I'm just going to place them this way. So once I place it, I'm going to be using my pencil to mark it at the side that we need it. So I decided to flip my sign and put the painter sticks on the bottom. It was more easy to trace it so we can cut it. And to cut it, I'm just going to use my saw to cut it. And to paint it, I'm using the Waverly chalk paint on color anti-wax, and I'm going to do one coat and I'm just going to let it dry. And to paint it, I'm using just a small piece of bat sponge that I got from Dollar Tree. Also, I'm going to be using this small tag that I got from Dollar General. It's really beautiful and only it cost me $1. So I'm going to place it right here in the middle of the sign. And I'm just going to be putting the hanger inside. And I'm just going to give this effect so the small tag is hanging from the wood sign. And I'm just going to place that two painter sticks this way. And to glue it, I'm going to do a combination of wood glue and hot glue for a strong hold. I'm going to do the same step on the bottom. I'm going to be using a little bit of wood glue with hot glue to glue it. Also, I decided to glue that small tag so it can hold pretty well on the sign, and I'm just using a little bit of hot glue. If you guys want for a strong hold, you guys can use wood glue. I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue to glue the piece of jute twine on the back so it can hold pretty well the hanger on the back so we can hang our sign. And to distress the sign, I'm going to be using a little bit of that Waverly chalk paint on color anti-wax, and I'm just going to do the edges of the sign. And to distress it, I'm just using a small piece of bat sponge, and I'm just going to distress it at the way that I want it. The next thing, I'm gonna be using this Boxwood picks that I got from Walmart. So what I did, I just grabbed a few pieces and I just tie it very well with that zip tie, and I just cut the remaining piece with my scissors. And you guys can put it right here on the top or in the bottom. I decided to put it right here in the bottom, and I'm just gonna be using a little bit of hot glue to glue it. The other thing that I decided to do, to use a few pieces of the lace ribbon, burlap ribbon, and a piece of jute twine, and I just create this beautiful bow. So once I was done, you guys can put it right here on the top of the small tag, and it looks really beautiful. But I decided to put it right here in the middle, and I'm just going to be using a little bit of hot glue to glue it. And this is how it looks our project once we're done. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think about this project? I think it turned out really beautiful. I love it how it turns out, but please let me know what do you guys think.
For the next project,
I'm gonna be using this wood box that I had on hand. I have that video on my YouTube channel, what I did step by step. I will link it down in my description box below so you guys can see what I did. The only thing that I removed was the handle. So the other thing that I'm gonna be using these jewelry border stickers that I got from Dollar Tree, and I'm just gonna be placing it right here in the middle. So what I did, I just used a little bit of hot glue so it can hold pretty well. If you guys want to, you guys don't need to do this step. I know that adhesive that they have, it holds pretty well, but I decided to use just a little bit of hot glue. And I'm just going to be putting the sticker all around. And once I was done with the remaining piece, I just used my scissors to cut it, and I just used a little bit of hot glue to hold it, the remaining piece. And to paint it, I'm going to be using the Rust-Oleum chalkboard paint on color white. And to paint it, I'm using this brush that I got from Dollar Tree. So you guys can see, I'm just using a little bit of paint first to paint it. And I just did one coat and I just let it dry. And also, I decided to paint the bottom part so it can has a finished look. I'm going to use the Waverly chalk paint on color anti-wax to distress it a little bit, and I'm just using a small piece of this bad sponge, and I'm just going to be distressing the borders first. And once I was done, I just distressed the edges of the wood box and also the bottom part. And once it was completely dry, I decided to use the Rust-Oleum chalkboard paint on color white to distress it a little bit more so I can blend everything together. So you guys can see, I'm just using a little bit of paint to distress it. And to put inside, I'm going to be using this Boxwood picks that I got from Walmart. You guys can put anything and it will look really beautiful. Or if you guys want, you guys can put a succulent and it will look really beautiful too. I have that other option for you guys so you guys can see. And please let me know what option do you like more. And this is how it looks our project once we're done. I think this planter, it turned out really beautiful. I just love everything. But please let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think about this project? And here's the second option if you guys decide to put a succulent inside. What do you guys think about our second option? For the next project, I'm going to be using this wood table decor that I got from Dollar Tree. It was the first time that I see them and I think they're really beautiful. So the first thing, I'm going to remove the image from the top, and this is how it looks once you remove the image. So when I removed the image, I left this part white on the top of the wood sign. I decided to remove a little bit, and for that, I'm just going to be using this sandpaper that I got from Dollar Tree. I want to remove it a little bit because I want to do this distressed look on the edges. The next thing, I'm going to be creating lines, and for that I'm just going to be using my pencil. I didn't measure anything, I just kind of eyeball it, and I just mark it like 2 times with my pencil because I want the lines to be a little bit dark. And once I was done with my fingers, I just distress all the lines. I'm going to use a piece of black paper that I had on hand. If you guys don't have it, you guys can paint it and you guys gonna be good to go. So it measures 6 inches long and 4.5 inches wide, just in case if you guys need the measurement. Also, I'm gonna be using this adhesive cord sheet that I got from Dollar Tree, and I just cut a small piece and it measured 5 inches long and 4 inches wide, just in case if you guys need the measurements. The next thing, I'm gonna be using this love metal word that I got from Dollar Tree. It's from Valentine's and I had it on hand. So what I did, I used the craft white chalkboard paint on color ink to paint it. I did 1 coat and I just let it dry. And once it was done, I just used 1 coat of Mod Podge to seal it so it won't come off the paint really easy, and I just let it dry. And the next thing we're doing, I'm going to be using this Mod Podge to put the piece of paper on the top of the sign. If you guys don't want to use that Mod Podge, you guys can use a little bit of hot glue. But I decided to use a little bit of Mod Podge to put in. I just did 1 coat and I just put my piece of paper on the top and I just let it dry. And I just placed the piece of cord sheet on the top. If you guys want, you guys can put it right here in the middle, or you guys can put it the way that I just placed it. So I'm just going to remove the paper from the back and I'm just going to place it this way. If you guys want for a strong hold, you guys can use hot glue to glue it, but the adhesive that they have is pretty good, so I didn't use anything. So the love word, you guys can place it in the middle or this way. Anyway, it will look really beautiful. I decided to just place it this way, and I'm just going to use a little bit of hot glue to glue it. If you guys want a strong hold, you guys can use E6000, and this is how it looks once you're done. I think it turned out really beautiful, but I decided to put a few pieces of this greenery, and I just tie it very well with a small piece of zip tie, and I just cut with my scissors the remaining piece. You guys can put it right here in the bottom or right here in the top, or you guys can put it on the other side too, and it will look really beautiful. So I'm just going to use a little bit of hot glue to glue it. Also, I decided to put another pieces of the greenery because it was missing a little bit more. And also, I create a small bulb to put it right here in the middle, and I just use a little bit of hot glue to glue it. And this is how it looks our project once we're done. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think about this project? I think it turned out really beautiful, but please let me know what do you guys think. For the next project, I'm going to be using 1 wood tray that I got from Dollar Tree, and to paint it, I used the Waverly chalk paint on color anti-wax, and I just did 1 coat and I just let it dry. Also, I'm going to be using these jewelry border stickers that I got from Dollar Tree as well, and I'm just going to be using a little bit of hot glue to glue it. I'm just going to glue it on the end of the wood tray. So once I just glue the remaining piece, I just use my scissors to cut it, and I just use a little bit of hot glue to hold the remaining piece. I did the same step on the bottom, and to paint it, I'm using the Restylane chalkboard paint on color white, and I just did 1 coat and I just let it dry. So you guys can see I'm just using a little bit of paint so we can give this distressed look that we're looking for. The next thing that I did, I used the Waverly chalk paint and color anti-wax to distress it a little bit more. And I'm just gonna distress the edges and also the border that we just put the stickers. So I just distress it the way that I want it. I'm going to use this wall sticker that I got from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to be using only the word the house. So my sticker, it was a little bit bigger, and to fix that, I'm going to use my scissors to cut it so it can fit very well on my wood tray. And once I was done, I'm going to be using this Mod Podge to put it so we can seal it very well, the sticker. So I just did one coat and I just placed my sticker. And once I was done, I decided to do another coat of Mod Podge on the top to seal the sticker so it can hold pretty well. So you guys can see, I just used a small piece of the adhesive cord sheet to cover the stars on the side. You guys can put it on the two sides. I just did one side and I forgot to do the other side so I can have a finished look. And this is how it looks our project once we're done. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think about our last project? I think it turned out really beautiful, but please let me know what do you guys think. So that was it for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified every time that I upload new video. And please don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you so much and have an amazing day.